while we're producing that detail, we want to calculate in this workbook how much does it all cost as far as material and the painting process are concerned. So in the next table, in the next sheet, we have brands of paints: SVO1, SVO2, SVO3, and so forth. And associated with those, we have different usages. Namely, paints have different viscosities, and we will be using, let's say, SVO1. When we paint 1 square meter, we will be using 0.43 liters of paint. SVO2, when we paint 1 square meter, we will be using 0.3 liters of paint. So different usages. And furthermore, we will have different prices. So for instance, the first paint has the price of $62.8, or the second one $47. Now when we come to the table of materials, we have again brand names: M802, M803, MA04, and the price of the materials cubic meter here. So materials price is given in cubic meters, $250 per a cubic meter. Now at first we want to give the names, so let's remind ourselves how it's done. We're going to select the table with the header and give formulas, create from selection, and here it is. This is the time when Microsoft Excel gives us the wrong choice. We only want to take the names from the top row, so let's uncheck left column and let's click OK. So now this block here is called brand. This block here is called price per cubic meter. What Excel wanted to do was he wanted to give the names from left to right as well, which would have meant that this here would have been called MA02, something we don't need at all. Now we also need to give the name to the entire table, so let's select the contents of the table and let's give it by hand by writing in here materials table and pressing enter. Okay, let's give the same name. So again, this blue area is called materials table, and let's go to the paints table. Actually, we'll move it around quickly here by control page up, control page down, and let's give again the same name from formulas, create from selection, top row, and let's click OK. But now there is a problem actually. Some names are fine: usage, liters per square meter, price, dollars per liter. So these are here. But now actually we gave again the name brand. And now it's time to go to the only place where we can delete the names and sort them out. So let's give formulas, and it's called Formulas Name Manager. Here it is. Now what we can do in Name Manager is we can, for instance, take a look at the names and sort them by, let's say, by the worksheet we're using. So here it is. All the names are right now ordered alphabetically. Let's for instance take some names we already have seen. This A was our details cross section, and B was our details one side, so those names are here, and we can see the values in those cells, and we can also see which sheet and which specific cell they point to. So it's production cell in here and C10, C6. So that's how Name Manager works. Now let us order the names by worksheets. So let's click on Reverse to, and here it is. Let's click again. Here it is. For instance, production sheets names are all together now. These are from that sheet. And we also have the names from paints, which are here and materials. And as we see, the name brand has now occurred twice. We gave it first in the worksheet materials. So that's why next to brand, as we see, it's written like this, equals materials, quotation mark, exclamation mark, $B $5 colon $B $17. So this material points to materials page B5 B17, this brand. Now the name of the sheet has been given, and it is followed by a exclamation mark, which means that here's where the sheet name ends. Now dollar signs are here because actually, as we're going to see, when we copy the name actually acts as if it's a dollar address, and it doesn't move ever when we copy it. But that's for later. Right now, what we see is that the first name brand we gave has in its scope has workbook, and the next name brand has in its scope only its sheet name paints. So once again, if we're giving the same name many times, the first time we use it, it's going to be all over Excel. The second time we use it, it refers to only the current page. So what we'll do now is we're just going to delete a few names. Let's click on that brand, let's click on delete, and here it is, we've deleted it. And the second brand, let's delete that as well, just to avoid confusion. And let's click OK, or close rather. Now we're now going to give the names brand underscore P, this is paint brand, and brand underscore M, this is material brand. And here it is. We're going to give the names again. Formulas, create from selection, only top row this time. And formulas, create from selection, and top row again. Let's go back to name manager, and let's sort them by the sheet name. And here it is. Now we have brand P, brand M. Both our workbook or all are valid all over Excel, and everything is fine. Now, one further comment to make: why such a thing would turn out to be good? Let's say that we're done with our materials page and we want to make a copy of it. And we're going to click on materials and hold it up in the air. This is actually for moving it around, but we don't want to move it around, we want to make a copy. So we hold Control key, and there's a plus sign now. There's a plus sign. Now we release mouse, and here it is. We've got two copies of the materials page. And when we go to formulas, name manager, here it is. We now have the materials page with its copy, and as we see in the copy, it's always only valid for the copy, it's always only valid for the copy itself, for materials copy 2. So that's how it works. When we want to copy a sheet, it actually copies the names as well, and they are only valid in their own sheet, so everything works out just fine. And now we're going to right click and delete this sheet. Right click and let's select delete, and here it goes. Okay, so we've given those names, and now it's our turn to start using and calculating the material, the details cost.